The purpose of the challenge is to bring you into the moment of recognizing the moment for what it is. And if you look at our programming, 80% of our awareness is on what's not working. It's how we're programmed for very good reason. It's been designed that way, because if all of us were singing and jumping around the streets just celebrating life, we may not make it as far as our genetic past is concerned. So the negativity bias protects us as the survival mechanism, that you will be still here later on. You get that? So for instance, if you look at it, if all of us were not negative biased and we were optimistic, because it was one of my points, I said, why do we have to be so negative? Why don't we just be grateful all the time and go, oh, look what an amazing day it is and how exciting it is. There's no effort required. But then I thought, why is that in our genetic makeup, and how does it serve us? Because my whole coaching is about that even a challenge is made for you. There's nothing against you. There's nothing, life is never happening against you or against people or against societies or against anything. Even an oppression is actually beneficial to you. So when you say I'm oppressed, actually not oppressed. This is an opportunity for you to go deeper into your awareness. So then on the global level, we look at, I'm a victim, and then you look at the victor and you say, well, they are oppressing us. That then changes your entire engagement with life. So my first approach, being the old self, I was like, well, why did the universe design us like this, that we just look at everything that's bad? I mean, it doesn't serve us, and it's suffocating, and it makes us miserable, and we end up killing ourselves. Yes, but there's another side to that. Imagine our caveman ancestors 200,000 years ago. Before we were born. The reason why we're here is because of that negativity bias. It is the ensuring of the survival of the species. That's brilliant. So if you were in one cave and I was on another cave, and we were walking across a beautiful forest, and I would leave the house saying, oh, well, Abdullah's making me a cup of tea. I'll go over. It's such a beautiful day. Look at these flowers and everything is going on. Next thing you know, one of these big animals that are carnivorous, that want to kill you, you're dead because of your optimism. You weren't in any way looking for the threat, right? Because you were just looking for what beautiful day it is, right? And so what happened to Rashad? Well, he got eaten by a saber-toothed tiger that was on the loose, right? So then we wouldn't be here having this optimistic conversation had our survival instinct being positive bias. It's very clever, very intelligent. All of these mechanisms that are, if you look at it from this eye of the great mystery and the great wonder of the universe, then you'd realize even you being in thought is a useful thing. You being uneasy is a useful thing. All these things that we've trying to say, I need to stop being negative. I need to start living my true bliss. It's all a trap, right? Same way we could apply this to the deer, right? So the two deer having a good day, or a springbok as you like to call it, right? La la la, so lovely day, look at the beautiful weather, boom. Elephant comes or lion comes and eats him for breakfast, right? The future ancestors of the deer wouldn't be sitting here hypothesizing why positivity is a good thing, because they wouldn't be here to have that discussion. Having said that, it's really served evolution well. So in my findings of everything, we can differentiate what is good for evolution, survival, progress, all of those wonderful success, building these big buildings, going after with this obsessive personality. I want to be rich, I want to be powerful, I want to be magnificent. I want all the nuts out there. We look at I want all the food before the winter. That survival mechanism is one side, the evolutionary drive. Then we have on the other side, the true nature of reality, the joy of life. They don't come together, because what people think, and make this association, if I get all the nuts in the world, I will be happy. And they make that association incorrectly. Knowing that chasing after the nuts is an evolutionary drive does not negate you from chasing after those nuts, because you are a monkey in one particular aspect, without being derogatory, not in any way undermining the human existence. So then, can you live another way where instead of you chasing after your desires, now what is a desire? Who put the desire into you? Why do you desire this, that, and the other? Right? Did we ask that question? Like, why do you want to be rich? Why do you want to be famous? Why do you want to be powerful? Why do you want to have the most beautiful woman? Why do you want to have so many children? Why do you want to be so intelligent? Why do I want to be so successful? Why do you want to be the best of the best? we just know that we don't have it, and we go read a self-help book on how to be more successful, more organized, more efficient. Who are you serving by being this way? Are you serving yourself by becoming more powerful, more magnificent, more, maybe. If you're the handsomest and the most powerful and the most strongest and the most flamboyant and funny and charismatic, and people say, oh, you see that guy there, he's got everything, he's got a yacht and he's got a, and then you say, that was me, I did all of that. Great, you did all of that. But what was the point of all of that? Like, what is, and then we go to the purpose of existence, which we'll come to. So I'm laying out a big foundation, rewinding the point. Now, if the evolutionary drive is not serving what we want, the reason why you're on the challenge and why people come to me with coaching is because usually there's a lack in their lives. They're feeling suffocated, they're feeling anxious, they're feeling like life hasn't been fair to them. They want to stop feeling anxious, they want to be at peace. That's the big thing. Everybody wants. What do you want? I ask them. And they say, I just want to be at peace. I just want to have inner contentment. That's what they want. Ultimately, after all of the other bells and whistles, which they say, more success and a better spouse and all the rest of it, all they want to know ultimately is that they are one with life and that they are content in their lot. Yet there's something in them saying, look, you shouldn't be content. And it's stronger than their desire to be content. Right? Because they're saying, yeah, great, be content, but look, I don't have what the neighbors do. And look at my wife and look at my car and look at my... It's easy to say being content, but you don't, he can be content because look what he's got. He's got a Ferrari in his backyard. Of course he can be content. I got a little jalopy Toyota Corolla from 1974. You want me to be content? And then, of course, rationally speaking, you'd be like, yeah, you're right. You should be very unhappy, right? So then survival mechanism. Now, why do you want to do that? Then reveals the whole flaw. Not the flaw, but the design, the grand design, this perfect design. So you could say that most of societies and most of people in evolution is for the purposes of evolution, for the planet, for the progress of mankind. Which is a double-edged sword, right? Because it can be, right? So on the other hand, then you have this person that has been serving the greater system. You could call it the matrix, right? You've got to be rich, you've got to be successful, you've got to be this, you've got to be that. Not to say you shouldn't be them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about a whole abandoning the world concept. And on the other hand, you have this feeling lonely. Everybody left me because I was just chasing after money. Now I've got $1 million and I've got nothing else to do. I've got a client like that. He lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. He's with a billionaire. He's like, I don't need to spend the money. He travels in economy. He spends very little. He has leftover takeout from 3 days ago. And you wonder, why is he doing all of that? Oh, because he needs to protect his assets. Well, it sounds funny, but then we have this conversation. Is he happy? He's miserable. He's sad. He's alone. He can't find someone to marry. You know why? Because he thinks they're after his money. Well, you went to get the money, didn't you? Now you're sitting with that money. So then we can go into the flaws of chasing after what evolution wants. However, it's not a bad thing, again. And I'll explain later on. So on the other hand, we have, I want to feel content, I want to feel joy, I want to feel the joie de vivre, I want to live again, I want to enjoy the sunsets, I want to smell the roses, I want to taste the meal, I want to be in the company of anyone and be myself. I want to be my authentic self. So why don't you just go and do that? Well, because I got this to do, that to do, all the rest of it. And we'll come to the point of societal pressure as far as like the self-image. It's like, I can't be that because people will say, you should be like this. So we're not actually after our bliss. We're getting to our bliss via society, money, success, and our peers as well. So in other words, if society recognizes us, then we should be happy. So if you do the right thing, which is entirely polarized, right? Because that changes from decade to decade, right? And so what was once considered a taboo is now, if you acknowledge it and accept it, has become a highly praised thing. Now you go after making society happy so that you can fit in, and they'll say, what a nice guy he is, look what a stand-up person. Like the most common thing I hear from women is, He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. And I ask women, what do you want? Someone that makes me laugh, somebody who knows what they want, and someone who's a nice guy. Now, you being that mate walking around, I'm going to be this guy because I want to get married. So you try to become the nice guy. What is the nice guy? What's the definition of that? How do you become that, right? And how do you be, I want a man that's funny. Right? I want a man that's funny. It makes me laugh, light sense of humor. We can process all of this later on, and I want to show you the topic of love. To summarize the question, which I've now, went too far along, I'm a terrible person to have on the other side of the camera. Do you want to survive and make sure that you've succeeded according to evolution, society, goals, all that kind of stuff? Or do you want to jump off this bandwagon and take the red pill? Was it the red pill or the blue pill? Either way, go and look at the nature of what you're chasing and why you're chasing it. Why do you want to do that? Because it's a lot of hard work. It's because it's not working, is it? That's why you came to see me, as the client would say. Well, it's not working. I still want all of these things. I just want to be happy. Well, the reason you're unhappy is because you want all of these things. Not understanding the game. So in my coaching, I explain to them the game of life.